Aquariuses, Spirit and Universe, what are the messages that you have for Aquariuses in life and love? What are the messages for Aquariuses? I'll do one more. The bottom of the deck we have the Emperor. So I'm not going to talk about the fact that we're in eclipse season and we just came out of Cancer season, which was kind of crazy for everybody. Mars is retrograde, all that stuff. I think a lot of people already talk about that a lot, so I think everyone's pretty aware. So I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just going to focus on this reading with the Emperor being at the bottom of the deck. This is a great indication that this time for you, as we're in Leo season, is very much about you taking the lead, you being leading through example. That's a very important phrase when we talk about the Emperor, because the Emperor, you know, when we elevate from the King of Wands, which is a representative of Leo, and we move into the Emperor space, a major arcana card, there's a lot more responsibility and accountability for others associated with the Emperor. The King of Wands is very much responsibility for oneself. There's a small tribe. There's leadership there. Definitely, there's a lot of positivity and leadership there. But there's a lot more accountability and responsibility with the Emperor. And as you can see, he's kind of guarding his nest, if you will, and leading by example, being prepared for change, being prepared for challenges, so that people in his realm and in his quote-unquote empire can rest assured and feel safe going about their daily life like these kids are in the background. So this is a beautiful energy. And then we also have the Queen of Cups, and then the Four of Swords underneath that with the Temperance card. These are very strong cards. All of these cards are very strong in that they are representative of having the ability to, which you do have, Aquarius, having the ability to lead, for one, care, and be kind, two, sort out thoughts with the Four of Swords before acting, and maintaining an even-keeled, energetic, emotional state throughout trials and tribulations. So these cards right here are very representative of you, and you being the water bearers, it does speak to a great deal of caring and kindness and worrying about the collective and the state of the collective. And when we think of the phrase rising tide lifts all ships or lifts all boats, that's your kind of your mantra. Is everybody okay? How can we fix this for everybody? How can we make this better for everybody? And you being an air sign, that is through something that you do through your words, through your analysis of whatever the situation is that you're talking about. So with all of that being said, we have at the center of the deck for you, the Hermit. So I don't think that this is so much about you isolating yourself. However, you are backing away from something until you feel prepared enough to make a decision, so you can make a shift, a very positive, stable, well-grounded shift in your life, whether this be career, money, love, family, living situation, whatever it is for you, Aquarius, there's a pause here with that encompasses a great deal of analysis. Again, when we come back to sorting out our thoughts and thinking and maintaining emotional balance with care so we can lead by example, this becomes extremely pertinent. That's why you're pausing. Normally this card, it has to do with every card around it too, but normally this card is speaking more towards fear and ignoring the fact that a decision has to be made. But sitting right next to the Hermit, this is more about you pausing and now analyzing. And this could be coming after the aftermath of something that happened in Cancer season or earlier this year, because it's been very hectic for everybody. So we have here the Three of Swords reversed. We have the Ten of Wands reversed, and then the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So on a easy level to read, you could be dealing with a fire sign, you could be dealing with an earth sign, and this broken heart that you're getting over could have to with all of the stress that this person put you through. So I can easily say that. But I think on a higher level, this has to do with you laying down burdens associated with whatever this was. This could be a person, this could be money related, this could be not feeling like you're in a position in your life so you to be able to give and share your abundance that the stability and abundance that you've worked towards, not because you don't have it, but because you're not in a state where you feel like it's enough. So whether this be a position that you've been working towards in work, a promotion or something like that, or a position in a group that you're a member of. But I like to see that these two cards are reversed because you're not overburdening yourself with the outcome of this. You're not overburdening yourself with sorting this out, or you're not dwelling in the pain of this. So it's not that you're ignoring the responsibility or accountability. You're just kind of only focusing on your section of it. You're not so much worried about, well, they did this and they did that and they should have done this and I deserve this. That none of this is coming from any sort of selfish aspect. I think if you are thinking about like a promotion you didn't get, or if a breakup happened or is about to happen, you're more along the lines with these cards here, saying to yourself, I'm not going to stress myself out. I wish that we'd have this certain type of result, but I can't focus on what I don't have. I can only focus on what I can do. I'm not going to pick up the burden of them or overcompensate for this or go above and beyond for this, because you're not running your life based on expectations. You're not trying to force things based on your own expectations of what it should be. All right? So this is a very mature, calculated, personally accountable mindset to be in, which is beautiful. That's why we have the Hermit and the Two of Swords here. Because you do this, because you're viewing it like this, like I've been talking about, that's why we have the rest of this reading. It's crystal clear. That's why you do get recognition. That's why you will level up. That's why there will be healing and added stability, more firm grounding to what you're trying to do. Very easily could be a love reading, could be a business partnership. That's why there is clarity. That's why there is a new beginning with added clarity. That's why there is warm, kind, light-hearted, fun-loving messages coming towards you. So it's almost as if, let's say this is work related or money related. You've been wanting something, you've been working towards it, but you're not going completely crazy. You're just saying, I deserve this. I should be getting this, not based on entitlement, but because it's been earned, it's merited. And so now you're nodding your head to yourself. Yes, I did a good job. Yes, I will get recognition. I just have to sit and wait and not try to force it. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they come back with. If you're trying to get a contract with a client, we'll see what they come back with, and then we'll go from there. And then it results in positivity. It results in clarity. It results in a very strong, connected union where everybody's on the same page, where everybody feels like it's a fair deal, where everybody feels good about it, where you're in sync and you're vibing, if you want to use that term, and then you were able to move forward. All right, so this is a good reading. Even if this is love related, even if there were some stressful situations emotionally over the past few months, specifically last month, you're not overcompensating. You're not getting stressed out. You're not forcing anything. Rewards come from merited work, merited example. And it builds strength. That's why you're even keeled. That's why the Temperance card is here. This isn't saying you need to be like this. This is saying you already are acting like this with care. None of this is selfish behavior that you're doing. No selfish expectations here. Zero. Underneath that was the Ten of Swords upright. And then underneath that is the Nine of Swords reversed. So something's definitely getting ready to come to an end. You were worried about it, but now I think you're saying, I don't need to be worried about it. I was a stand-up person in this situation. I did what was right. I did what was best for everybody. And if they can't see it, so be it. But in fact, they actually do end up seeing it, and then there's reward. All right. Pull a couple clarifiers. I don't think I need to pull many. This is an extremely positive reading, Aquarius. I think you're going to have a very good month, especially the second half of the month. Let's pull a clarifier on this Three of Swords. See if we can get a little bit more answers on that. Please clarify this Three of Swords reversed for Aquarius. Yeah, you're not really concerning yourself with, this is the spying card, really, but it's reversed. So this also is a card of getting all the knowledge and coming from a vantage point, not jumping to conclusions. You're working towards getting all the information. But reversed, you're not working towards getting all the information because I think you have it. I think the work's been done. Now we're waiting for the reward. Not based on expectations, based on merit. I know I keep saying that. I don't mean to repeat myself, but that's what this is saying. So you're not like spying or listening in to see if they're talking about you or to see if, good. It's good it's reversed. Let's clarify this Two of Swords. Please clarify this Two of Swords. Justice reversed. So the Two of Swords is an interesting card because it's always a hard decision, and that's why we tend to shy away from making these types of decisions sometimes, because we know it could go a lot of ways, but we never want it to go in a negative way where justice isn't served, or we don't get our way, or we don't get what we feel like we deserve. So I think you're succumbing to the fact that it could go that way, but you're just, you've set yourself up for success. And so that's why the Hermit's there. You're just pausing and waiting. You're doing introspection, doing retrospection, you're thinking, but it's almost as if you kind of need information from somebody else before you move forward, because you've already kind of done everything that you can do. All right? Let's clarify this Three of Pentacles for you. Please clarify the Three of Pentacles for Aquarius. Yep, look. You are going to be completely leveling up, completely moving into stability. There's a lot of clarity here. Let's see if we can, let's clarify the clarity card. Please clarify the Ace of Swords for Aquarius. Please clarify the Ace of Swords for Aquarius. What is this clarity? That's very interesting. So if this could be about a person. One person's a yes, one person's a no. That could be. But the clarity also is, well, we have this difference between water and fire here. So there really could be two people that you're trying to decide between, or two energies. The Queen of Wands, when she's reversed, she's very angry and vengeful and hurt. This is all coming from a place of hurt. So there could be an understanding that you receive and get throughout the month, moving through the month, that where you all of a sudden have this understanding of, even if they're wrong, but you have an understanding and there's clarity brought up about why they are so upset, why they are so angry. And it's interesting because if we are talking about one person here, there's warm communication. So it's as if there's good, solid, level-headed communication about somebody's emotions. All right, and you're listening because you care. You're receptive because you care. You think about it and maintain emotional balance because you care, and then they see that you care. Right? Now, we also could be dealing with two people. One's warm, fun-loving, caring, emotional. One's very angry, and then it's like there's a decision between two people, and you choose one and then are happy. So that could be. Please clarify the Two of Cups. Please clarify the Two of Cups for Aquarius. And I don't like to look at these because I can see if the blue's on top, they're going to be reversed. If the red's on top, they're going to be upright. And I don't like to know that. Okay, so this is very interesting because, again, here we have another cup. So this union, this understanding that you have is not going to occur. The clarity will come. The clarity is there. But the union or reunion is not coming because they make an offer. All right. It either just meshes well, or you're the one that makes the offer, or there's just this clarity and this understanding between the two of you that results in this. There's not some fresh new offer. All right, so that's kind of interesting. So I think with this, you definitely know what this reading is about already, and then you'll see how it plays out throughout the month. Okay? All right, let's pull some outcome and guidance cards. Advice and guidance and outcome messages for Aquariuses. What are the advice and guidance and outcome messages? One more. Okay. Well, for starters, with the King of Swords on the bottom, this is you or another air sign. This is you being extremely logical and analytical about the situation, whatever it is. There could be a little overconfidence that somebody has, you or somebody has about it. There is definitely a breakdown, but there's also energy to build or rebuild. This is where you come in with these energies. This is going to be imperative throughout the month, where you come in, where when things get tricky, when things get tight, when there's misunderstandings, you have the opportunity to be the bigger person, the more level-headed person that will do nothing more than gain their respect for you and grow their respect for you. So if someone's throwing antics and not acting appropriately, or if they're angry, simple, warm, lighthearted communication can solve all of this. So you are going to be the master at this month. There will be confusion. There will be things breaking down. There will be overconfidence and expectations. But there's also a great ability to grow and build and develop. And it's because this card is here, it's as if both of you are more than willing to do that, as long as there's open communication and everyone's on the same page to begin with. All right? All right, Aquariuses, I love you. Stay tuned. My dailies are going to be coming up, and I will talk to you later. All right? Bye.